I don't know. Is there anything else we need to?
Do we want to do an introduction?
Like,
Some sort of introduction to the podcast? Like, okay, tonight we're going to be reviewing blah, blah, blah. Travis North, Jamie Klein, Jimbo Dubs.
yeah, you want to riff something? I don't have anything typed up.
I can do
Hey
that.
guys, I hope you're chilling at home. Got your popcorn ready to go.
There you go. There you go. Good job.
Right?
All right, for tonight's podcast, we have on deck Mario Bava's 4 times. What the fuck was this movie called, Jim? 4 Times That Night. We have Mario Bava's 4 Times That Night by Kino. You're here with Travis North, Jimbo Dubs, and I am Jamie Klein. And we're going to be talking about this movie, and hopefully we'll keep our pants on while we talk about it, too.
Hey, don't we know each other?
I just love Charmin.
I'm going to tell you a story you're not going to believe. By the way, I'm the doorman. Now, I don't make it a practice to spy on the tenants, but when Mr. Price brought home this chick that night, it was too much. Now, who you going to believe? What she told her mother? Or he told his friends? Oh, me. Now, I saw it all. The fact is, he tried to... No, actually, it was she who started to... You know, those neat little tricks, until things got out of hand.
Do you think audiences' sides were splitting during this movie?
Well, I think the humor is going to come more in the sort of the situational misunderstanding, because I think basically this movie is about them telling this movie or this story 4 times from 4 different perspectives.
Like an Italian Rashomon or something.
Exactly. Anybody who doesn't know what Rashomon is, Rashomon's the Akira Kurosawa Japanese film about a rape that happens in a Japanese village, and it's told from 4 different perspectives. And so this is sort of the Italian comedy version of that, where they took that idea. You have the same story told from 4 different perspectives.
Boy, I'm really disinterested now. Unofficial rating for this movie going in, like, oh, Italian sex comedy. I was going to rate how good it was going to be by how many times Jamie went, "Wah!"
Oh, yeah.
The music is great.
And I think we only got, what, 2?
Yeah.
Well,
like
one was just because I saw boobs.
Oh. There you go, Jamie.
Yeah! My friends.
It doesn't count. I'm talking as far as like pure humor. Like, I think when the dog tripped the guy,
Yeah, that was fucking
and the
hilarious.
guy running up the stairs, and that's it. There should have been at least like 5 or 6 like
There should have been, yeah.
things
And
that
there
were just like
wasn't.
killing you that were just like totally ridiculous. Very like slapstick broad. Zoom in on somebody who's doing a crazy like double take or something.
Yeah. I think I was more intrigued by Mario Bava's directing.
I wonder what I would have thought if I didn't know going in that Bava directed it, because I was kind of primed to expect certain directorial flourishes. Where if I went in thinking this was just Luigi nobody, but I think go in. I think you're a little primed to like it a little more because you're thinking, oh, it's Mario Bava. Oh, okay. When really it wasn't that great overall as a movie. Without his name on that thing is just gone out of your memory banks in like a week.
Yeah, and if anyone hasn't seen any other Bava films, he highly recommend seeing a lot of his stuff, his horror movies.
I would highly recommend not watching this.
Yeah, don't go with this one. Go with something like Black Sabbath, Black Sunday, Bay of Blood, Planet of the Vampires. All those highly recommended. They're fucking awesome. amazing horror films. Stay away from this one. But
Now, does he have anything in his catalog? More like this? Because I'm the same. Like when I think of Bob, I typically think of more of his horror stuff. So I was excited to watch this because this is something we typically don't.
Yeah,
this is something we typically don't watch or review on the site. It was like, hey, we're going to do a sex comedy by Bava, right? Mario Bava,
Right.
and I suppose we shouldn't be surprised that we feel the way we do about it, but at the same time, I was kind of excited that it was going to be something different. So
it is, and I do like that it was different than what we normally watch. And I didn't hate it. I've seen way worse movies that we've reviewed that we absolutely hated. I didn't hate this. This held my interest for one point. And I like seeing tits. Yeah! My friends.
on the commentary, Tim Lucas actually mentions that this movie was banned in Italy originally because of its, talking about gay relationships and transvestite relationships. I think it actually delayed the release in Italy because of it.
Wow.
And look where we are today.
Yeah. Now they ban movies if they don't have it.
I forgot also the references to trans stuff, which just, it's really pushing it.
Yeah, for that time.
I almost wish it was made maybe 10 years later,
No.
where it could have been more on full on sex comedy.
More of a Russ Meyerly.
Where he could have really maybe put more flourish on it, and it could have pushed it a little more. Besides towing the line between a little naughty and a little
Right.
transgressive, but kind of still having to hold back of it, even though apparently holding back it still hurt the release of the film anyway. So
Yeah.
I think the problem really is in the writing. I think it would be funnier if, like, in the sequence, in the third sequence, the doorman sequence, that tends to play more the gay and the transvestite, sort of phobia that the doorman seems to have. If you have pieces of that in the first two stories, where there's little hints of that,
And there wasn't at all.
there was a mention of transvestite in the first story when that
Oh,
couple
with the friends or whatever when they saw him.
the neighbors, yeah,
right.
Okay.
They didn't know how to deal with the mystery, right? They don't ever have any intent of either revealing the mystery or taking that serious. Meaning, if you're writing a murder mystery, you don't have to give the audience everything, but I certainly expect the writer to know the answer. And so the writer might say, I'm not going to tell you the answer. In my mind, I know what the answer is. And this movie almost feels like that. Even the writer's like, beats the fuck out of me what actually happened. I was just trying to write 90 minutes of material, and I needed four, and I needed 4 stories, because the he said she said seems to kind of work, right? Because you have you have all the sort of the check boxes, like we've mentioned. You've got the scratch on the forehead, you've got the torn dress, that all seem to happen within the apartment. It's just his version of events is completely different than hers,
Right.
and then you just kind of feel all that go off the rails once the doorman starts telling the story, because all of a sudden it's like all of a sudden you have this whole gay element, and things just stop adding up.
The 2 men went into the bedroom and the girls were left in the living room. They were both magnificent, believe me. Either one could shorten your life by 10 years.
That was the opportunity for the writer to show what really happened, is to have that third neutral observer watch it, and okay, now he said she said, now here's what really happened.
That's
end.
what should have been. Yes.
Instead of like, oh god, well, I made my little statement about stuff. How do I wrap this up? How about some weird F. Murray Abraham looking fucker that pulls the car out of the screen? I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's
That almost literal hand of God ending to that one,
Right.
to just really show how little that guy cared. 2 people, by the way, cared to write a reasonable plot.
Right.
Perché nessuno mai vede le stesse cose che vedono gli altri. Queste non sono che delle macchie qualunque fatte a caso. Eppure,
Vagina.
quando le mostriamo ai nostri pazienti, ognuno ci vede qualcosa che vede solo lui.
Also
Qualcosa che gli
vagina.
altri non vedono. Qualcosa,
Vagina.
dato che nelle
Stingray.
esclusivamente sue. Qualcosa, insomma, che ci mette lui e non se ne accorge. O che ci mette lei e non se ne rende conto. O che...
A different type of movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many trash cans for you guys? Do you know?
One.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yes. The
One?
movie stunk, and if it didn't have nudity, it would have been less.
Yeah, I'm not as harsh.
I would never watch that again. I would never recommend it to anyone. I wouldn't take it as a gift. I would sell it instantly.
I probably wouldn't rewatch it. If I was going to rewatch it, I'd like to listen to the commentary. I would be actually willing to watch it again with commentary.
If you have to watch it that way.
I'm probably going to... I'm leaning on 2.5.
Oh my fucking God.
I was into it.
Just another 2.5s you've doled out.
I mean, I was going between 2 to 2.5. I'm like, 2.5. Or maybe I am being too generous. Because I really hated that ending. That ending sucked.
Yeah.
2.5.
Jim?
I don't disagree with 2.5. Even though we're talking about our frustrations with it, you know, I still stuck around for it, you know.
Right.
We have to.
No, but I would regardless. No, I mean, there's a big difference. So, like, I did want to see to the end that if they at least knew well enough how to keep me there with at least the hope that there was going to be a story or something that was going to tie it all together. So I was at least patient enough to go, okay, I'm going to see this through the end because I want to see what the final story is to see.
Halfway through, you should have known that wasn't going to happen.
You know, you never know. And
I dislike when movies they can't achieve what they tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be done very well, but if I won't even say that's a good sex comedy. It's not even close.
I mean, is it a sex comedy? That's another question. I really don't.
Is it a drama?
Yeah, I don't know where this.
That's a good. I might lean more drama, comedy.
It's not really serious, so it never really takes itself seriously. So
no,
funny.
Dark material is done for a laugh, like rape. Good to rape me.
I'll tell you what happened. Snap broke? No, caught on a nail. John tried to rape me. You should have worn a bra.
Oh.
I learned from Bill Cosby.
In today's society, like, if you even whisper the word rape, you will have someone breathing down your neck accusing you of actually wanting to rape someone, you know?
Right.
And I think there was more of an understanding with movies, you know, back then where they were like, we're going to poke fun at this. It's okay. It's fair game.
It's a boys will be boys taken to an extreme where today it's just everything is irreversible or nothing.
I think what blurs the lines today is this constant conversation about like men and women being the same, right? Where in the rules of society then, they're working under the guidelines that men and women are very different. And so what they do then is they heighten each sex to their instinct. Man is dumb and a predator, and so he's going to, you know, especially right, you know, and he's going to, especially in the first story, he's going to, you know, do whatever he can to sleep with the woman because she's hot as hell, and it's like that's just what guys do, right?
Yes,
and that's why
aggressive chauvinism.
Yeah, and we laughed about it when we were watching it, you know, because the mom's like, "Oh, let's call the cops." She's like, "Eh."
I'm gonna call the police. No, don't do that. The police would ask me why I went to his apartment. Besides, nothing happened to me. The dress. But I left him with something he will never forget for a long time.
You really went at it, huh? Yeah, what happened to your head?
All of us could take that with the intent of how it was intended.
Right.
We laugh at, I think, what would have been expected for the time. I don't think any of us would like laugh off a real rape, but I think we understood what it was.
Right.
And not all super sensitive to it. It's like, hey, this is what it kind of was. So, you know, laugh because it was supposed to be kind of funny. They
Right.
they weren't endorsing like you should go rape women. This wasn't some like this.
Right. It's like having someone watch Blazing Saddles now.
Yeah. Although that was a funny movie, this was not.
Right. I agree. Blazing Saddles is a much better film.
Yeah.
Go down the line.
Yeah, and this was just more. I don't know. I mean, it's still in the comedy genre. It's just not gut busting. Funny.
I
It's
go
just-
comedy drama or something like that.
Here's the thing: was this ever?
It's a sexy light romp, you know, and it's like, hey, you know, let's watch this funny, you know, he said, she said, he said.
Doorman said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my 2.5 cans, mainly because, like you mentioned, Jim, the acting was very good, and it's directed very well, and it might be worth seeing for Bava fans to see something different. Although I would stick with the horror and the science fiction stuff that he.
I mean, I like completism and I like things being restored, but honestly, something like this it's nothing. It's good to have if someone wants his filmography, but if it was lost,
Right.
it's like, okay, who cares?
Well, and I think it's in the proper place in the hands of Kino, right?
Oh, yeah,
Kino,
absolutely.
Kino, you know, the print isn't perfect. It's not pristine, but it looks really good for what it is. It's one of those kind of forgotten movies that I think, you know, Mario Bava completists are just going to want to have, just because the commentary's good. It's a good scholarly commentary. I think there's a couple of deleted scenes
Oh wow!
on the Blu-ray, and it's got, you know, the usual handful of trailers that Kino they usually put like 5 trailers, and they'll put like the main movie trailer and then like 4 other titles that they're trying to get you to buy or whatever. So
Right.
so it's you know, not overly bloated. It doesn't have too much stuff on it. It's got just enough, you know, little extra stuff for the people that are. It's not overly produced, right? So Kino knows what they're doing. They're like, the people who are going to buy this thing are going to buy this thing.
Honestly, I think it's pretty generous to have the original trailer, a decent transfer, a highly researched commentary, and then deleted scenes. I think that's.
I'm shocked at the deleted scenes.
And two audio tracks, right? So you can either listen to it in the Italian or the English dub.
That
So
too, yeah.
Right, thank you. Dug up
That's
both.
pretty
So yeah,
good.
I'll give them credit for putting out the definitive release of this.
Right.
yeah, I mean, I don't think you really need anything more, honestly. I mean, with the especially with people who are like super into Bava, you know, your other releases are going to have, you know, documentaries and all that more you know, deep dive stuff. So it's kind of a perfect release for what it is. You know, the people
So
are going to want it.
Travis is at 1 can. I'm going 2.5 cans out of 5. Jimbo.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you on that. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but definitely has a place on the shelves for, you know, people who would want it. And you know, it's certainly I certainly recommend it over a lot of new stuff that's coming out. So I'd much rather people go and find stuff like this than watch.
Than Rebel Wilson's new movie or something.
Right.
So you're doing 2.5?
Yeah, I agree with you. 2.5.
Yeah.
And despite the tainted figment of our imaginations, they watched the sun rise on a very bright day.
B.
That movie was not fine.
Ugh, it smells like Trashmen media around here.